Hi, I'm Joe Walensky, and I'm the program manager for Seattle's annual user experience conference called ConveyUX. We're going into our 7th year, and that's coming up March 11th, 12th, and 13th in downtown Seattle. And I get the fun job of talking with our many great speakers that will be at the event. And today I am speaking with Kerry Renna. Hello, Kerry. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Joe.
Well, I'm in downtown Seattle. Where are you talking to us from?
I'm talking to you from Boston, Massachusetts.
Well, it's good to have you involved in the conference, and happy that you're making the trip across the country to visit with us. Why don't you start by talking a little bit about your background and the types of things that you're involved in?
Sure. So presently I'm the Director of Consumer Research at SharkNinja. That is encompassing all sorts of different touch points within product development, whether it's products themselves or more of the go-to-market commercialization strategies and how we really make sure that we are designing for the consumer and also then delivering exactly what will be most beneficial to the consumer and optimize to grab their attention as well as deliver satisfaction at home.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, my history has pretty much been in research, mostly consumer research. Earlier on, there was more technical mixed in with it, but as I continued to develop through my career, the consumer-facing element just kept grabbing my attention. So that's my sole focus these days.
Well, for people that may not be familiar, what's SharkNinja all about?
Yeah, so SharkNinja is a small appliance company. We make the Shark vacuums and steam mops. And then the Ninja kitchen products like the coffee makers, the blenders, some heated cooking appliances. So what we're all about really is improving the consumer's lives every single day. And so making those products that is going to put ease into your daily routine or deliver above and beyond what you're currently able to provide for yourself.
Well, I'm sure that you always have a lot of things going on at SharkNinja in your work. Anything in particular going on right now that you're particularly excited about?
Oh, so much. I mean, we're constantly working on new products that are exciting, but right now in particular, we're expanding globally, and that's just been a joy. As we reach out into new countries and regions, we're also expanding our consumer research into those regions, so figuring out how do we apply the same fundamentals and tools, but appropriately adapting them for that culture and really understanding that consumer and their lives and their home setup. It's just been a great experience.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of challenges and a lot of different aspects to that, but are there any things that are turned out to be more challenging than you thought, or provided some interesting obstacles?
The turnaround time is the first thing that comes to mind, just because doing research in your native language is always much faster than doing research in a non-native language. But I think the biggest difference, or the one unexpected roadblock we've encountered, is more so just this general idea that you don't truly know the consumer until you go to that country, until you understand where are they shopping and how are those retail situations set up, and then what is it like when they get it home? Are they carrying it home themselves, or is everything delivered? You really need to immerse yourself in the country before you can truly understand and appreciate whatever that data is you might have been getting back electronically or when you were sitting abroad previously.
And then you're having to migrate that strategy to all of your different markets that you're trying to get to, I assume.
Yes, exactly. So we're expanding rapidly. So we're currently looking to go into a couple new countries this year. In the past 18 months, we've expanded into 3 new regions. So we're constantly growing.
Well, the topic that you're going to be presenting at the conference is called Building Business Confidence in New Technology Through Consumer Research. And so you're going to be talking specifically about things that you've done at SharkNinja, and that's part of our project work interest area, of which we have several different interest areas. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what we can expect from your presentation?
Yeah, so that presentation is intended to just kind of give a bit more context into how we applied the standard SharkNinja approach of putting the consumer first in a completely new category area that we were previously, not present in. So we really didn't know what we didn't know, and how we were, through research fundamentals, through our best practices, we were able to get a handle on things and identify the appropriate partners, such as BlinkUX, to make sure that we could essentially, go to market with a very compelling and also consumer satisfying product.
And as you went through that project, if you get into all the details about it, but were there any things that provided particular challenges as you were doing the development?
I think one of the everything's always a little bit of a challenge as you're working with consumers and technology that perhaps isn't at its final stage, and how do you kind of weed through the basic elements of just it being a prototype versus it being a finished product, and make sure that for technology that we didn't have past experience with, that in and of itself was more concerning than usual, because how could we make assumptions that something was just a prototype issue, considering we never actually brought a product of that nature into a finished state yet, so such as an app.
Well, we're glad to have you involved in the conference. It's always certainly helpful to bring physical products into the discussion, in addition to all the digital products and services that seem to make up the majority of the things that a lot of us talk about. And so we'll look forward to seeing you here in Seattle in March.
Thank you. I look forward to it as well.
All right. Thanks a lot, Kerry. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Joe.